Let's start by stating that most people do not intentionally ruin their relationships. Even though most people have good intentions, still some women may not be aware of their behavior that pushes people, especially men, away from them. We try to be the best partner we can because we want everything to work out. Although it's not always the case, but for the most part, we totally commit and put our emotions on the line in the hopes of causing and achieving happiness. Men and women appear to approach love and relationships from very different perspectives. For a woman, something relatively unimportant would be considered as a big deal, and vice versa, while they might think of certain things as something meaningless. For men, this might be a complete deal breaker. Pay close attention until the end of this video to discover 6 things women do that push men away. Being dramatic. Everyone is familiar with someone who is a typical drama queen or drama king. Every now and then, it could be funny to observe their actions and behavior, but if you're in a relationship with such person, or even if it's someone you just started dating, it starts to get less funny and more annoying. Some women aren't hesitant or afraid to start a fight, even over the most insignificant problems. This type of behavior not only causes unnecessary stress, but also ruins the image of your partner about you. Now, everyone has a bad day sometimes, and if this happens just a few times, that is still okay. But if someone is being dramatic over every little thing all the time, it can easily ruin the relationship. This behavior could also encourage other people to start gossiping about you in a negative way. So, if you have any problems with your partner or anyone else, it's better addressed alone between the two of you. Getting in the way of his goals. In comparison to the previous points mentioned, this one is considerably the most serious one. One thing is to love someone, but if you are trying to limit them by telling them what they can do or should do, they are not going to like it. This behavior is not only selfish, but it's also really toxic. You two should complete each other instead of taking away from each other. Whether it's work, hobby, or passion, men and women should be encouraged to follow their dreams and to do what they truly enjoy. Men will leave you if you try to compromise their success or prevent them from doing what they love. And they are absolutely right about this. The same should apply to you. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. No relationship is worth sacrificing the things that are most important to you. Forcing him to change. Any healthy relationship shouldn't be built on trying to change the other person. Now, don't get me wrong, if there are certain things that you don't like about him, you should not be afraid to tell him without being pushy or inappropriate. Sometimes there are things we wish for in a partner, and with the right approach and communication, these things could be worked out eventually. If these things are aiming toward his improvement in certain areas, it could definitely be acceptable with a casual approach. I hope you see the difference here. Helping a guy reaching his full potential is one thing. Trying to totally change his nature to meet your needs is quite another. Encouraging him to aim higher and assisting him in getting better is absolutely fine. But going too far and constantly bothering and criticizing him is ineffective and will only make him run away. Not giving him space. To be completely fair, you can't really blame a guy for needing some space. To some extent, you probably feel the same way sometimes. Yes, many men desire some space occasionally in order to satisfy other parts of their lives. Whether it's related to a sport, passion, or simply hanging out with some other people. The majority of men simply desire some alone time in which they can do their own thing and work on themselves. They don't want to feel limited by you, so you better encourage them by giving them some space when they need it. A guy finds it pretty stressful when his partner assumes he is being selfish for going out. This constant stress will gradually drive a man away from a woman. Pushing him into commitment. Forcing guys into things they might not want to do yet is a common mistake girls do. Any kind of commitment takes time and patience, and if a guy is ready, you will know for sure. Whether we're talking about getting into a relationship, engagement, or marriage, guys don't like to be rushed or forced. You can make your intentions clear, but don't expect him to be immediately ready for the commitment. Never pressure or rush a man into something he doesn't want, because it usually never works. Never assume he is prepared simply because you are. He will surely let you know once he is ready, since men tend to be rather straightforward once they make up their mind. They are mindful of their desires and preferences. Therefore, attempting to force him into something he might not desire or be ready for could cause him to slowly lose interest in you. Lack of communication. Another serious mistake a woman might make in a relationship is to assume that a man would always be aware of her thoughts, even when she doesn't express them. However, expecting him to somehow read your mind and figure out what's wrong would only make him want to distance himself from you. This behavior can be very exhausting and annoying, especially if you start making problems about something you didn't express before. It's much simpler to just be open and honest about everything since the beginning, so there would be no surprises or misunderstandings that would lead to a huge argument. It's actually uplifting to just let him know what's bothering you. It demonstrates your interest in solving the issue rather than punishing him for no particular reason. Making him guess does literally nothing, and it only makes him more distant from you. Open and honest communication can solve almost every problem, so don't underestimate it. If you found value in this video, please smash that like button and consider subscribing.